Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aric Miller channel. My name is Aric Miller, and I make music and I make art, and I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of cool stuff. And I just wanted to kind of like make a video about why I'm not giving up on music. I guess if that makes sense. I don't actually exactly. I don't have like a script or anything, so I'm just gonna see how this video goes. But I kind of want to just give a recap of like what I've done the last 2 years and kind of what my plans are for this year. I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So I'm just gonna give a little bit of history about myself, even though that's like probably super boring, and you probably don't want to watch that because like you probably don't even know me. I probably just popped up and you're like, oh well, this looks interesting. This weirdo person guy here is gonna talk about whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah. So my name is Aric. I have been making music for a while. I haven't been. I started releasing music back in 2024. With my debut album, No Place Like Home, which was this solo piano project I worked on. And it's just piano music. And then last year in June, I released a EP called The Adventure Begins, which is a more orchestra, like adventurous type sounding thing. Yeah, and those are both really cool projects. Go listen to them. I'll have like a link somewhere, maybe in the description or something, if I remember to add it. But anyways, in this video, I kind of want to talk through everything that I am planning for this year. So last year I made a similar video in January where it was like, what are my plans for 2025? So this is kind of a video that's like, what are my plans for 2026? But also it's kind of just me rambling about, music and why I'm not giving up on music and why I am going to continue to make music despite recent things like AI music taking over and just how difficult it is to make a career out of music nowadays. So I kind of just wanted to be open about that, I guess. And uh, yeah, so um, I guess like a great way to like get started with that is I want to announce my upcoming album project for this year. And I'm not going to announce the name of it yet, but it's going to be a full length album, and it should. My plan is to release it like this winter or this fall. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm planning on releasing singles for it throughout the year. In fact, I have already announced my first single, which is called "No Time to Say Goodbye," which is coming out on February 13th. So that's um, next month if you're watching this as it comes out. So yeah, it is a great song. It's the first song that I'm releasing with me actually singing, and so that's another thing about the album is it's going to be me singing. Uh, but yeah, I want to describe the album a little bit to you. Uh, my next album is going to be a space themed um, album about uh, it, that kind of touches on like themes of like nostalgia, ambition, life and death, uh, uh, religion, relationships, and space and time. And it's space themed, and it's going to be really interesting. It's a lot of the songs on it are very unique in different ways, and it's an alternative pop album for the most part with like some stuff. When the No Time to Say Goodbye comes out, you'll kind of get an idea of what the songs sound like, but also not because they're all very distinct. But you'll see, it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. So if you want to pre-save that, there's a link somewhere. There will be a link to pre-save No Time to Say Goodbye. And but basically, like my kind of goal with the album is to make something super creative and super super meaningful to me. Uh, I don't know about meaningful to like other people so much. I mean, I think if it's meaningful to me, that there's someone out there in the world that's gonna find it meaningful to them. But yeah, a lot of the album kind of touches on like nostalgia and ambition, as I said, and like um yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Like a lot of the songs are about like chasing dreams despite but also like looking back on like the person I used to be and different things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, you should check it out. uh but yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm not giving up on music despite AI taking over. In today's like, it's in 2026. Making music seems like a lost cause, honestly, for a lot of people. And I think like with there's so much people making music. Like literally everyone could have a song out right now if they wanted to have a song out right now. Uh and I think that's like the main thing that kind of makes me like, I guess like it makes me feel like it's hard. I will admit. Like I think it definitely is a hard thing when like there's so many people making music and then AI music, and it's like how would you even make a career in music? And I talked with my brother about this like yesterday a little bit. Shout out to him. He makes cool animations, and he's also a really good artist. So you should check him out. I'll add a link up there, maybe, if I remember, or maybe it'll be up there. I don't know. It'll be somewhere. Yeah, but I feel like the thing is like, why even try when like the chances of making it in music is really hard. And I kind of wanted to make this video not like just for me explaining why I'm not giving up, but why you as an artist or as a person in general shouldn't give up because of AI, because of other people, because of like anything that's going on. Like, sure, there's so much hard stuff in the world, but I feel like in a way that kind of gives more of a reason that we need you to make art or do that thing that you want to do. And I think that's for me as well, where it's like my main thought is I want to, I want to try and make uh, music to inspire people when everything seems kind of chaotic all the time, a lot of the time. Like in so much of what we do, um, and I feel like a huge thing with like people like giving up because of AI. It's like, why even do it? Um, I want to say like I don't. I feel like those people are kind of putting too much pressure on themselves of trying to make it, basically. But for me it's kind of different because I think like I make music not because I want people to listen to. I mean, that's part of it, yeah. I would love for you to listen to my music, or anyone really, to listen to the music I put out and enjoy the art I've put out. But in reality, like, I enjoy making music. Like, that's just the reality of it. And I feel like if you're gonna give up just because someone's better than you, if AI is better than you, then do you really enjoy music that much? And that's just kind of a very blunt way of putting it, but like I I don't see the line of reasoning of like, oh well, someone's out there. And even like for me, like I'm not like one of the great artists. Like I don't expect that. Like, I mean, maybe one day I'll be on like the same level as like, I don't know, Justin Bieber or whoever, which I don't know, Justin Bieber's definitely not exactly where I want to be. But you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of artists that are definitely better than me. In fact, in my Instagram bio, I literally say I'm an amateur alt pop indie artist, or something like that. Like, I'm definitely not the best at what I do, but I'm good enough to where I feel like I can release music and I want people to listen to it. And, I can do interesting things. And even if I'm not like the same as, as good as like 21 Pilots or whatever, like, it kind of, it's also another thing to say like art is subjective. And so I think that it definitely changes depending on like the person who's listening to the music. Like I feel like people could listen to my music and be like, oh well, actually I like this better than most modern music. And I think, you know, for me personally as well, like I'm not a fan of a lot of more modern music because it's very samey. uh but yeah, like I I'm not really scared of AI taking over and making it so that like there's no reason for me to make music. And I think the main thing that AI doesn't have that I think I can have is you know, a community of people, a fan base. Because if you're making art with AI, no one's gonna follow you. You're just some random guy who's typing into a computer. Like I don't think you can't really build a community around messing around with a text box chat, a chat box, a chat system, whatever, you know, whatever you would call that. You know, you can't do that by like saying, "Oh yeah, I talked to an AI and it made music. I'm, you know, I have a community." Like no one wants to follow that, especially since people are very anti AI. And I feel like I'm less anti AI than a lot of people are on the internet. But I digress. I think I guess the gist of what I'm saying is just that like it isn't really that relevant to me, uh even though like I'm not a fan of AI music, and I definitely think that there is a lot of things that need to be done to regulate it and make sure it's not theft or anything, and that's a huge legal problem that I don't really feel like I have any like ground to speak on when it comes to. But I will say it is important, and I'm not gonna like pretend that like it isn't just because I want to like, you know, be overly optimistic, like, or anything like that. But the thing, what I'm saying is that I think that AI uh, taking over is not my biggest concern, and I don't think that like it'll stop me from making music because, as I said before, like the only reason that would stop me is if I only cared about being the best at making music. And that's not what I care about when making music. For me, making music and making art is just about being able to share my feelings in a way that, like, I guess, express my feelings in a way that, like, I feel like I don't always like get to, you know. And I think a lot of art is that, and I think that's another reason is like AI doesn't have feelings. It can pretend it does, but like I'm never going to listen to an AI song and be like, "Oh my goodness, like this makes me feel things." And that's why I've kind of adopted the slogan of music you can feel. Um and it was actually, that comes from a conversation that I had with my niece and nephew at one point. More my nephew, but my niece was talking about how she uses Suno to make AI music for fun. And my nephew was telling me that like, oh well, it actually sounds pretty good, like, and stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but there is a huge problem. Like, you know, the entire time we were having this conversation, I was like, that's kind of like offensive to me, but I'm not going to be offended. Which, for context, my nephew is like uh 10ish, around there. I know, I think he's 9, but you know, somewhere in that area. He's still a kid. But one thing that I remember saying to him was, I was like, okay, well, the thing is like I make music you can feel. Like AI isn't gonna do that. Like I don't, maybe for some people they could make music that is actually felt, but like, you know, there's genuine, like AI can't experience things. And I think that's something that like I've seen a lot of people say on the internet. Um but it's true. It's a very true thing. Like experience, for me, like if I experience things and write songs about it, like AI can't do that. AI doesn't know my perspective. AI can copy my perspective and try to act like it knows my perspective, but it can never come straight from me. And I think there's a lot of value in art that comes straight from the artist. Um, and just kind of how that works, I guess. And you know, I really like just making music and being able to like just work really hard on something and show it to people. And but even if I wasn't to show it to people, I feel like I would still do it because it's fun. Like I love making music, and I love all kinds of art in general, really. And I think music especially, like I I've kind of fallen in love with like just the experience of making it more so than just being able to show it to people. Like I don't make things just to show them to people. I mean, and I think to an extent like that could be the case, but I feel like we live in kind of a society that like with social media and stuff, it's kind of like we have to like show everything we make to people. Like it's like that's our main goal is like you can't just like make art without posting it on the internet for everyone to see anymore. And it's kind of an interesting thing because I actually I want to say like I watched a video about this a while back, and I don't remember what video it was. If I find it, I might like add a link somewhere. But um, it said like basically like as we got older, like we kind of like as kids, before getting older, we used to just create things for the fun of it. But nowadays, like often as adults, and this is a very general thing to say, like I'm not going to act like this is a whole thing, but like that applies to everyone. But as adults, we tend to do things just for other people to see them, um, and not just because it's fun. But the thing is, making stuff is fun, um, and I think we've kind of lost a bit of that like creativity in us, where like we're sometimes we just make art for people, for other people, or like but I think with my music, it's like this isn't really for anyone, my next single that's coming out the day before Valentine's Day. Um I made that because I wanted to learn how to make music, and I was just having fun with it and doing different things. Like I mean, yeah, like I was planning on releasing it and stuff, and like I had the idea, and I was like, oh well, this would be a cool thing to like actually show to people. But it's a cool thing because I guess my intention with making it wasn't to so that I could just go up to people and be like, hey, I made this cool thing. Um Initially, like my only intention was like I want to make a song to express how I feel about moving, and that's what this song is about. Is like I wrote it back like a little bit before, or maybe it was after we moved states, and then after that I uh wrote the song, I think. Um, but it is a really hard thing, um, to like it's kind of a hard thing to say whether like when I made it or not, I wanted to show it to people. But I definitely think that like main reason I made it was just because I had this idea and I wanted to do it. And one of the initial ideas I had was like I'll actually grab this was using like the ticking of an alarm clock and the sound of it going off as like percussion in the song, and eventually that kind of evolved into what the song has become. Um, it's a very creative thing, and and it kind of and I think that's kind of what it is. It's like I had this creative idea and I just wanted to pursue that, and I think often that's kind of what creativity should be. Um, and yet a lot of people are like, as artists, like it seems like they're just doing it for the money, they're just doing it for the clout, they're just doing it because um people will like them if they do it. But for me, um it's not really like that. I'm kind of more like, well, if I fail at making music, if I never end up making any money from it, like I guess what it comes down to is if I were to ask myself if would I still be making music if I knew that no one was gonna hear it? And I think the answer is yes, because I like making music, and I more than anything, I think I'm a very creative person, and I think that's just who I am. I like to do stuff. I like to make art, and I think that even if no one was going to hear my music, even if no one was going to read my book, even if no one was going to, whatever, like I'd still do it because it's fun. I enjoy doing it, and it means a lot to me. Um, but yeah, that was kind of a tangent. uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say, but hopefully something in there was inspiring or whatever. But I guess the main takeaway is that like um, creativity, you shouldn't limit yourself to only being creative for the sake of other people. I don't think. And well, I think that it's good to, you know, want to show people things that you make, and if it works out, like that's cool, that's awesome. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I really like don't care if people listen to my music or not. Like I want it to work out. I'd love to do like live shows. I'd love to live the life of a musician, and have that as like a full-time job. That'd be awesome. I don't want you to get me wrong with that. But you know, would I be satisfied if that doesn't happen? Well, yeah, because that's not really the point. That's just like the extra stuff on top. The point is being able to be creative and express myself and make good music, just for fun. And if that goes anywhere, like that's awesome. But if it doesn't, like okay, I'm still gonna make music. It doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say in this video. Uh, you can be expecting me to announce more singles. Pre-save my song "No Time to Say Goodbye" coming out February 13th. It is a fantastic and very creative song that I put a lot of effort into, and so I would love if you would listen to it. Yeah, if you want to listen to my older music, I most recently did a collaboration with the band Remnant Crusade, and it's a song called "And Yet Questions Remain." And so, if you like mysterious sounding cinematic kind of music, then that's a great one, as well as just stuff on the Adventure Begins album. Is very cinematic. I think some of my best work is there, but also on No Place Like Home, I have a lot of great songs that I composed. Uh, so yeah, go check out my other music. Subscribe to the channel if you think that you would be interested in hearing more of my music, and maybe I'll make more videos like this where I just uh, babble for like 30 minutes about whatever uh, this was about music or creativity or art or philosophy or whatever. Yeah, uh, you can be expecting more music uh, soon, and maybe more videos. If you like this video, like actually hit the like button. And I might do more of these. I don't know. This is kind of an experimental video. But yeah, I'd also love to know your thoughts in the comments, and if you think that I'm like completely wrong about everything I just said, like go ahead and say it. I'm curious to know if you what your thoughts are on what I'm saying, and maybe there is something that I got wrong, and I'd be very curious to hear about it. Or maybe you're like, oh yeah, actually, Aric, you are right, and I think that it's really inspiring that you're saying all this stuff, and like you know I should listen to you or something. That sounds like I'm like trying to convince you of something, but like in reality, like I this video is mostly just me saying like why I'm not giving up on music, and um the reason, quite frankly, is just because I love music. And yeah, I think that's what it really comes down to. But I make music you can feel, and that's my new slogan that has come about. Uh, but yeah, anyways, enough of me babbling. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. You know the drill. Um, I will see you in the next one. Pre-save my song. It'll be out again on February 13th. I've said that like a million times. All right. See you guys. You can leave now. The video's over. Okay, well, you know what? I guess I will just stop it because you are too lazy to or something.